We last left our coterie in the wake of disaster. Yet again, this time, one that strikes at the heart, or one person's heart in particular. Baroness Tala, after a night of revelry and performance, was shot through and through from an unknown location as a few members of the coterie race to determine where the shot was from where the shot was fired. Soma and Enrique Escolar are left to deal with the mess that has been left at the ball.
Somebody get help!
A few of the Tremere in the area have already begun to work their magic, but kindred left and right are slowly making their way to the exit, trying to sneak out as if something has just happened. The few people left standing around the Baroness are Soma, Enrique Escolar, who is trying to handle the chaos, and a few of the other governors in the area, including the Silver, a familiar face to all of you.
Who the fuck did this?
It is clear, says the Silver, that they knew about tonight. They knew about this location.
Who is they?
It is either whichever enemy this might be, but we've had some recent conflict with, supposedly, the Camarilla. How come they know about this, Enrique? I thought your building was secure.
I'm not sure, but I'm gonna fucking find out who did this. He looks around the room, almost scanning the area. Is there any roll he can make to find out if there's any suspicious-looking kindred people who are certain, like probably panicking?
Wits plus awareness. You see, the Silver looks upon you with suspicion as well. Everyone here, in fact.
I think I got one success.
Only one success. Right now, Enrique cannot determine whether anyone here was involved. But the Silver, he notices, is looking upon him disdainfully. Is this your latest bid for power, Enrique? Is this your path to victory? She says.
What does Silver look like? Like, is he, what do I know about him?
The Silver is actually a she, and they are a Nosferatu. And they have the appearance of an 80-year-old woman with no hair, with sagging folds all over their body. They look plump, almost pear-shaped, but you know that those are just the deformations of someone who was embraced by a Nosferatu.
Enrique stands up from where he's probably crouched down. He looks to Soma first, and then eyes this Nosferatu. He looks her dead in the eyes and says, "You think this is a plight for power? You think I want this Baroness to get hurt?"
I wouldn't be surprised.
If I wanted her, to be hurt. This wouldn't be the way. This isn't my style. He kind of looks around the room, looking for perhaps a scapegoat at the moment. But he knows deep down this isn't his style. This wouldn't be of his schemes.
Enrique sees Helen, who was instrumental to his humiliation at the trial of the coterie.
Think of a bit of a snarl is let out by Enrique at this point as he eyes Helen. He starts walking towards her. As he approaches her, he would look her up and down and say, "Funny how shit just hit the fan when you're invited to Elysium."
Helen, the moment he approaches, recoils in fear. But the words strike true and the fear is apparent in her eyes. What? I had nothing to do with this. I had nothing to do with this, I promise. I said I would be good. She said. Please, you were all there. I said I would be good.
Kindred lie. And she's a thin blood, right?
Yes.
Kindred lie, Duskborn. And you're no exception.
Leave her
Tell
alone.
us. Don't you think it's... He turns to Soma at this point as he says, don't you think it's a little strange that things are happening right after this one entered this safe space for us? Don't you think it's a little funny? She's the only one here that is, well, not a full blood.
Please. I was welcomed. I was welcomed. The Silver interrupts this exchange and says, "What a wonderful performance, Enrique Escolar. But you will not have control over my domain today. Not until we find out if the Baroness will be all right." You, she points at Tremere, who promptly says, "She needs blood. She needs a lot of blood." Is there a way we can take her to the blood bank? Do we have a car? Do we have anything?
Enrique speaks up at this point as he says, "I can get her there easily and safely. I got a few men on a chopper nearby." And he pulls out his phone and begins to, send a message to one of his men.
How does this make you feel, Soma?
I don't... Who could have done this? And then I bring out my phone and I text Goyo and Victoria. I asked them, "Have you found anything?" Or yeah, I asked them that through text.
We cut to that part of the coterie. Everyone in the car is being driven to a specific location. One that Luz has texted Gregorio. Overhead, they hear the sounds of a chopper whirring. Victoria and Dandy assume and understand that this is likely Enrique Escolar's.
Looks like Escolar's chopper.
I just hope that the Baroness is safe. What do you think? Do you think this is part of Enrique's ploy? Another one of his games?
I wouldn't rule it out, but To be frank, I think this is more likely the Camarilla or, well, the Madam. So, from that area. Maybe Ka. That La Sombra we found.
Ka with Helen. Helen.
I mean-
Do you think that she's tracked?
Possible that they
What do
were
you mean?
using her, somehow tracking her, at least someone that they were familiar with. How they could have found out about this. But until we find out who did this, it's hard for us to determine anymore.
It makes little sense for Enrique to shoot the Baroness so publicly at his own party. Well, one that he was effectively hosting. Puts the heat on him. Unless it's a double ploy, but
I wouldn't put it past him. Either that or he's working with another. Is he working with the Camarilla?
Again,
well,
I wouldn't put it past him. It's like you
No.
said.
No.
for now.
It can't be because his emotions when the Baroness got shot was genuine enough for me. Though, if I think about it, will I notice anything different, storyteller?
That would be. Let me check what kind of role that would be.
Aside from that, what message did I get from Soma?
He asked if you have any leads. That would be intelligence and awareness to try and remember what
Oh, that was just a
Enrique Escolar looked like at that particular moment.
Goyo, upon receiving the message from Soma, shares the location.
What does Soma do with this information?
I tell Silver that my coterie is trying to find out who's behind this.
She asks where.
And I tell her the location that Goya sent to me.
She takes out her phone and speaks in a language you do not understand. My men are on their way, she says.
I
I might
text-
need the backup.
I text Goya and Victoria, backup's coming.
We've got
Tell
Silver's
them
men.
not to get too. Tell them not to get too close
They might
until
spook the.
we need it.
I tell Silver, they probably shouldn't be getting too close. They might spook the person behind this.
Oh, if there's one thing Nosferatu know how to do, it is to stay in the shadows and unnoticed, she says.
Okay. Is there any way for me to check like the vital signs of Baroness Tala?
That would be a medicine and intelligence check.
Okay. Medicine. Okay, 1.
Too much. They're getting bold.
Enrique Escolar, you notice that the other governors are staring at you. Some eyeing you with suspicion. Some of them have unconsciously. I would like you to roll wits and awareness on this one as well, or insight.
2 successes, 1 fail
2 successes, 1
for the
fail.
for the medical and intelligence check.
All you need to know, the Trebiers are handling the wound. They have plugged it off with gauze. Right now, you try to determine if there's a pulse.
Is there a
but you
pulse?
can't tell. She's kindred are always cold, but this is the coldest you've ever felt any unliving kindred. Ooh, that's 4 successes. Enrique, upon seeing what's happening with the governors, you realize something is about to happen. If the Baroness dies, Metro Manila will likely schism into several factions, into separate baronies. Some, of course, backing you, some attempting individual rule, and others backing the silver. While she controls only North QC, half a city, she does have great influence with the rest. And what do you do in the wake of all this?
In this situation, I think Enrique would want to keep the Baroness alive, as they have a bit of a history together. They still have to do that one thing. So as he kind of looks around the room, everyone throwing suspicion his way, he would approach the Baroness herself, kneel down, and kind of... Is Soma with her at the moment?
Yes.
What are you doing?
In a hushed tone, he would look at Soma in the eyes and say, "As much as I fucking hate your coterie and yourself, we have the same goal right now, and that is to keep Tala alive. Manila will plunge into chaos if she meets the final death. So, my chopper will be here soon. We'll have to figure out a way to avoid suspicion, as well as his skin kind of irks at this point as he says the words, work together."
Do you think a chopper would be too obvious? A chopper flying at this time in the night?
We don't have the luxury of time, Soma.
The chopper begins to land. The wind blows a lot away, like tablecloths. Tables are flipped over by this great wind. Kindred aren't bothered, but the party is left in shambles as the chopper finally lands. You carry her to the... Do you stay with her, Soma, as she is carried to the chopper?
Yes, I follow.
Does Enrique fly with the chopper? Or does he stay here with the governors, who are now whispering among themselves?
Would there be a role here to determine what's the best course of action for Enrique?
What he would determine to be the best course of action? I would say intelligence politics.
Politics.
3 successes.
Right now, the 2 options are go on the chopper or stay here. Going on the chopper will leave the governors whispering in Enrique's absence. But it has the caveat that you are riding with Soma, the Baroness's own childer. But right now, you think your best course of action is to stay here and to try and control the chaos that is about to erupt.
He takes this moment after he thinks things through. He looks towards the Baroness, who is now probably bleeding to death, then to Soma. He grits his teeth as he says, "I'll leave her in your care." He turns around to look towards the chaos that is about to ensue. He eyes the governors up and down. And are they kindred? Or
They're
ghouls?
kindred.
Or... Okay,
They're
thought so.
kindred.
He would approach perhaps a group of them. And as he comes to them, he would look at them all in the eyes, noticing the way they've thrown suspicion at his direction, and he would say, "Now things aren't looking very well. And I know you licks love a good chaos party, or chaotic party. But this isn't good for the entirety of Manila."
No, it is not, says the gangrel governor in the corner. Governor of Las Piñas. Charles. This feels like the precursor to a war. This feels like divide and conquer. The hair is chaotic around his face. His fangs are longer than usual, and it gives him this bit of a lisp because he can barely control his teeth. But he is notorious for his brutality and his fairness. Right now, he seems to be on neither side of this schism between you and the Silver. More of the governors say, if she dies, what is to happen? Asks another. What are we to do?
He looks around towards perhaps the Silver's direction, kind of studying her every move, as he says in a hushed tone towards this group of governors. "We cannot let the city fall into chaos. You are all governors and barons. Should she die, there will be a civil war that'll erupt between all of us, and much blood will be shed, either politically or physically. I suggest we mitigate the chaos for now. Figure out what the hell is really going on here. I believe my chopper will make it in time to get to the blood bank or what have you, wherever they want to take her, to save her life. But I would need all of your assistance in order to mitigate whatever the fuck is going on right now."
Her body is not even cold yet, says the Silver. Yet you make plans to consolidate power already. The words of a snake indeed are slithery and convincing. A snake like you, Enrique Escolar. Do you mean to lead us? Do you mean to be the next Baron should anything happen to our dear Tala?
He cracks his neck at the thought of this Nosferatu making all of these assumptions against him. He looks her dead in the eyes, that disgusting figure of hers, and says, "Bold of you to assume the plights I make, the schemes I've planned, when you haven't cleared your name yet. You could very well be as responsible as I could be in this situation, and you're just putting me on the spotlight.
While that may be true, it certainly is not out of character for you.
It won't be
You're
out of
young.
character for any of us. We're all vying for power here, are we not? And he looks towards the other governors. But this isn't my style. Silver.
This is not the time nor the place. First, we must find out who did this. And then, we will convene. Agreed? We will convene to discuss the matter of who shall act in place of leaders, in place of this lost leadership. And in time, should anything drastic happen to our dear Baroness, determine her successor through fair and equitable elections. Fair enough for all of you? Some governors are more reserved. You can tell what they're thinking, what they're saying. Others murmur in agreement. The Silver, in particular, murmurs in agreement.
Enrique grits his teeth, still looking at the Silver, with his own suspicion against her. I agree to this. We'll find out who caused this whole mess.
Goyo receives another text from Luz. Holy shit. I am sensing. Are these kindred yours? Are they with you? Holy crap, they're scary.
What is it? Goyo?
Do they there are kindred nearby.
What do they-
Nosferatu?
What do they look can you tell what they look like?
Ugly as Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove.
As I
Right.
peek at his phone, is really? What is Yzma?
You should tell her
Uh,
that
It seems one of the governors has sent some backup. I assume the Silver, right?
Nosferatu
All right.
is probably the Silver, yes.
Yes, I will tell our contact that they are friendlies. They're non-hostile.
Mm.
Don't engage.
Well, they're already engaging. They're on the way in.
They're already on their way in.
RJ, how fast
What?
can this car go?
You are about, according to his app, you are about 2 minutes away from arriving yourself. Goya receives a picture of and it's one of the Nosferatu already scaling the side of this building.
It's okay. It's okay. As long as they don't interrupt, as long as they don't try to break in the windows, we should be fine.
You do know
Alright.
if your contact can see them, then the others can see them as well. Other kind.
My contact
not
is very
like-
special. All right. She sees things most people can't. I think we
understand
should
he's
be
not
fine.
like other kind.
We should be fine, okay? I just hope we're not too late. Come on.
What's our
The 2
plan?
minutes it takes feels like forever. But the moment you arrive, you get out, you step out of the car. You Luz meets Goyo as you step out of the car. What took you so long? She says.
Is this your contact?
Yes.
Well, notice
Look, doesn't matter.
Rather-
It's,
you notice that she is in fact human, kind. But there's something different about her, something off. Like you smell it in the air. Luz says, "I suppose you're
Skip the niceties.
you're Franzi.
What do you know?
What do you know? Just skip it now.
I heard a gunshot from this specific area, and I honed into my senses, and I traced it to this building. Whoever it is hasn't come out of the building yet, or at least the front door. Unlike your kind, I can't scale walls or leap tall buildings. But so far, nothing has come out.
Alright.
Those potato-looking motherfuckers you guys sent in.
Don't insult the
Are all-
Nosferatu. They're called Nosferatu.
All right,
Okay.
Nosferatu
let's let it go. Let's let it go for now, right?
you sent
All
in
right.
are probably searching the building right now.
How
But-
tall?
Judging
Go
from
on.
this height, this building is taller than the Escolar building, so it can be from any floor that's equivalent or higher, likely higher than the gunshot. You try to examine your memories for more things. It is, in your opinion, it's likely higher, as the blood splatter seemed like direct on your faces,
Angle.
meaning it was pointed at an angle from high to low.
Well,
All right.
How many entrances do we know about this building?
There's a rear entrance in the back there, but it's sealed at the moment. Repairs, and then there's the main entrance. So there really is the one entrance, but I haven't seen anybody suspicious in or out of it. At least, not kindred. I haven't sensed any kindred.
Right.
The rear and main entrance are both on this floor.
Yes, they are.
There is
There-
no
I think
basement
we
parking.
should.
There's also a basement parking, but the only exit from there is through the main entrance at the moment. The parking garage has been closed.
I think
Right.
someone should be posted at the entrance.
Luz, can you stay at the rear entrance? I don't want you going in there. It's a hot box of kindred right now. Probably not a good idea.
I'm already
But-
making my way towards the elevator.
Can you just stay at the rear entrance and let us know if things look like it's been moved around or anyone tries to escape that way? All right. Thank you.
As Victoria rushes towards the main entrance, she hears a scream. A zooming
Where?
scream. And a body falls behind her just as she crosses it. It is a Nosferatu splattered behind her on the pavement.
Well, looks like they found our
behind,
culprit.
as in outside.
Flung from within the building, or from the top of the building, you don't know. Out.
I approach the Nosferatu.
You see the Nosferatu, surprisingly, is clinging to life.
Which floor?
Broken, almost pieces. Forty. 42nd floor.
I'm already running towards the elevator.
Thank you.
40 seconds.
So
When I hear 40
run
second, I
after
run.
her.
Uh,
Would the stairs not be faster?
You've got celerity.
If you use your abilities, they might be.
I'm
I
yeah,
will
I'm
use
taking
celerity.
I'm taking the elevator. Are you coming or not?
I'm riding the elevator.
Franzi is taking the stairs with celerity.
I'm closing the
Is that
door.
the roll? Could you remind me?
There's fleetness. Add celerity rating to the user's dice pool for non-combat
Okay.
dexterity tests.
This is a dexterity and athletics test, and add your celerity dice roll.
As we are going up towards the 44th floor, is that right, Goyo?
42nd.
42nd floor. I'm calling Enrique.
Enrique receives a phone call
What's the address
From-
of this, Goyo?
from
I,
this bitch. This bitch, and it's a picture of Victoria.
Fucking answer this.
He would wait a few moments before he picks it up. Perhaps on the very last ring, as he picks it up. What do you want?
I tell him the address.
I show her the
as-
street
yeah.
address on my phone.
As Goyo is showing me the address, we might need some cleanup at this area. Might be some masquerade breaches because we found the culprit.
Fuck.
Possible culprit. One Nosferatu is already down, so I don't know how strong this is. How strong our enemy is, or how many.
Where is Enrique at this moment? Like, who is he with?
He's currently with the other governors. They're just talking individually to their own coteries, and he's just ordering some of his staff to clean up the place before he goes to clean up some of the blood, to pick up the pieces of the party that are left in shambles.
Okay, then he would go in a isolated corner, perhaps to avoid the eyes and ears of whoever's listening or whoever's watching Escolar, as he says, things are not looking good on my end. I need you to tell me what the hell is going on there.
I'm still unsure. I'm trying to figure it out. But all I know is that this culprit, the one who tried to assassinate the Baron, might be stronger than most of Silver's group. Let's just... I hate to say this, but we need to work together right now. I look at Goyo.
He kind of takes a double take on the phone, and he says, "It's funny. I just said that to your kindred brother, your coterie mate Soma. But I agree. If this shit goes down south, the whole city is gonna plunge into fucking chaos. I'll send a cleanup crew."
Alright. I just hang up. I'm not gonna say thank you to a fucking bastard like Enrique. I'm just telling that to Goyo. Fucking can't believe. I can't believe we're working with this guy.
Franzi gets there before all of you. With their great speed, they're already on the 42nd floor.
If the others aren't there yet, I try to escape notice.
Sure.
But I listen and observe.
The floor itself is seemingly under construction. There are no real fixtures yet. It's an unfinished office as it appears. There's no air conditioning. So there's a lot of construction materials just laying about. And one particular thing you do notice is bloodstains here and there. Signs of a fight.
Is this just Franzi, or are we all there already?
It's Franzi. It's just Franzi. Do you walk around, try to investigate?
Well, first, I try to notice if this floor is still occupied by anyone else.
Do you do this normally or with supernatural means?
I can only use normal means.
Okay. That would be a wits plus awareness.
I rouse the blood to my wits.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Oh, also add awareness.
Could you re-roll with the wits and awareness roll for me there?
Fucking taking forever with this elevator. Stupid fucking elevator music.
As far as you know, there might be no one else here. It's like a maze here. Finally, you hear the ding of an elevator. The doors open.
Before the doors
And
open,
coteries.
I turn to Goyo like, stay hidden.
I pull out my gun and then I just nod. As soon as the doors open, I use my sense the unseen to see if there is anything hiding from us supernaturally.
Yes. Two, in fact. Two things.
Do I know what these things are or where they are?
They are kindred. You are not sure what exactly they are.
Do I know the direction they're coming from?
There's one westward in the building, another northwestward. You are currently in the southern part of the building, where the elevator is.
What's the direction facing the Escolar building?
The direction facing the Escolar building is the eastern side.
Eastern. Huh. So they're on the western and the northwestern?
Yeah.
All right. I go and try and stealthily make my way towards the northwestern one and gesture to Franzi and Victoria to follow me.
That would be stealth plus dexterity plus +2 bonus for your
Hold on. Goyo.
pass without trace.
Maybe I can draw them out, me.
And lose the element of surprise.
That's true.
Do I need to? Sorry. I'll perform a rouse check for my silent passage. Unseen passage.
Yeah. That adds a +2 bonus to your roll.
Did you see anything, Franzi?
Want to. No. Are you suggesting, Victoria, to draw them out to you while Goyo is hidden? And then.
I'll act as bait. They might get greedy. Take out the Baroness and one of her precious. I don't even know. Can't think
Well-
straight.
I'm not particularly stealthy, so. Maybe we should both be bait.
Can't. There's only one Goyo.
Alright.
Might have to.
I
we
will try.
can split up. And I don't know, Goyo. What do you sense?
There are 2 kindred on this floor. One on the western end and one on the northwestern end. But it doesn't make sense because the Escolar building is to the east.
You sure you're not sensing the Nosferatu?
No, they're mostly on the outside, if I recall.
We can. There's a couple of possibilities. They have already. Which floor is this that we're on?
42nd
Second.
floor.
That is above. Is that above the level of the rooftop of the Escolar building?
That is about a few floors away, like 4 floors away from the rooftop.
Up or down?
The rooftop is 4 floors up.
They could have moved, I say to Goyo.
It's possible, but well, let's see. We have to be careful either way, and we have to decide to approach one of them.
Wait,
I'm thinking
and
the
the other let the
north-
other escape. Once we engage, the other kindred would be able to escape.
which one of you is willing to go solo?
And we're just point the way.
All right, and then I give directions to where the one on the western end is, and then I'll take the one on the northwestern.
I can't let whoever tried to kill Mother escape.
Take care.
I'm already making my way towards the northern
The western.
the
western
western one.
I start walking in the other direction. A few feet ahead of Goyo. Unless he takes over.
I
Overtakes me.
I go ahead. I start making my way to the one kindred on the northwestern end.
I pull out my knife.
I'm just confidently walking.
And I whisper to Franzi, like, if she needs help, you use celerity, make your way over there. All right.
Her current instance of celerity is still in effect, so she can. So Franzi, I would have no problems getting there as quickly as possible. Right now, however, something changes. When you use sense the unseen, it's not entirely perfect. It's more like sensing sounds, smells coming from a specific direction. You do notice, however, that as you move closer to the northwestern kindred, the smell starts to change. I would like you to roll dexterity and awareness.
Me?
Goyo.
Do I add my sense the unseen dots
Yes, you
there?
do.
Okay.
Somehow you are struck. You manage to anticipate it at the last moment. But you are punched so hard in the chest that you are thrown back. You crash through 3 gypsum walls, ending up right next to Franzi. And you end up coughing up blood. What punched you finally makes its appearance. You recognized the bearded visage of Ka quite well. But this time,
I try to stab him.
his muscles seem thicker and black veins run across his body. His eyes are fully black, and you know exactly what that means. He has drunk a kindred dry tonight and has taken their powers. As Franzi moves into stab, that would be dexterity plus
Melee?
melee. If you could, I feel like you can use a flourishing stab. Essentially, you could use your
And make
charisma
it-
instead of your dexterity, if that's what you prefer.
Given I always take the opportunity to be extra. So I take out my fancy knife and I say, "This is your last night, you bitch."
As quickly as he appeared, Franzi is there by his side, swinging, with all her clothing whooshing through the wind beautifully, furiously. Ka only manages to dodge at the last moment, but a deep gash is carved from his face down to his shoulder in this manner. He roars from the pain. Victoria, you start to hear this chaos, this noise. What do you do?
I continue looking towards the other kindred.
The other kindred, you notice, is lying on the floor, severely injured. A Nosferatu. He stirs and whimpers from pain.
Is it possible for me to give him a bit of blood so he can heal himself?
You can, but it won't work that quickly.
As long as he doesn't
you
die.
His injuries, you see, he is impaled on a set of rebars sticking out from the ground, unable to move free of them at the moment. Get these off of me!
I can't. If I remove that, you will bleed to death. You have to stay here. Drink the blood until
Oh.
you can gain enough.
Oh, my mother!
How?
The silver. Call the silver. Tell her. He's too strong. He tries to pull himself free. He arches backward in a bridge and tries to push himself off the ground.
I said stop.
I can handle myself. He grabs the 2 rebars and starts pulling out. Fight him and get
Who
him.
is him?
Ka. He said his name was Ka.
I take my phone and drop it beside him. Call the silver. I have her number.
What's your passcode?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Really?
Really?
I work in IT and you have no idea how often that gets hacked. All right, I'll call her.
Just-
And he
I'm-
again speaks a language you do not understand. And throws you back your phone. Just get him. I wish you would help me, but apparently you don't want to help me.
Trying to give you blood so that you can heal yourself.
I have blood. I
Fine.
have
Then I'll
the
just
blood.
grab him off the thing.
That would be a... Well, no. Let's say your natural strength is enough to just yank him off the rebars. And
Covered with your blood.
he opens up his... He's topless, by the way. He opens up his chest, which has like a fold under the pec. And he stuffs his hand in there. And there's like a small hydro flask. And it drips down his body. And then he reaches again into the chest and changes the nozzle on the hydro flask to like a pipette thing, and he starts pouring it into the wounds.
Tell your brothers once you're done with that to stand by. We will secure Ka. We will not let him
No, I'm
escape
not.
this time.
I'm not letting you fight him alone.
I grab him
He's too powerful.
by the neck. Are you calling me weak?
Oh,
Throw him back to the ground.
I'm not exactly a pancake, and he beat me. You throw him to the ground. All right.
This is why we'll overwhelm him with force. Just stand by, and if you find a chance, then strike. I'm already walking away towards where I assume Franzi and Goyo is battling Ka.
What does Goyo do while he's about 15 feet away, thrown through 3 gypsum walls on the ground with a gun?
I stand up and shoot. Try to shoot in the neck.
Dexterity and firearms. Okay. Oh my. You graze some of his flesh on the other side, but it's not deep enough to significantly wound him. He takes out his own knife and swings it at Franzi. Franzi will have to roll for
To defend?
yes, or dodge.
Yes, I will use my fleetness with dexterity and athletics
Sure.
to dodge.
Victoria joins the battle. What does she do as Ka takes a swing with a gigantic, almost machete knife at Franzi?
I try to take his attention by distracting him and yelling, "Hey!"
That would be a charisma and intimidation. Looks apply.
Can I reroll? 3 dice. Spend willpower for that.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. And Franzi, unfortunately, your results haven't come out yet. Oh, there they are. Fleetness. There, they're coming out. Franzi rolls at 2 successes on that. Am I seeing that right? Yeah, 2 successes. Franzi is slashed across the shoulder, right here, revealing, slicing open his clothes in a shallow cut. This is
My good jacket!
the wounds are
I
superficial.
spent days on this!
Ooh, nice. Oh my god. That is a critical. Your hey, just one word, seems to echo, to ring through this structure. The steel beams in the area just hum from that singular hey that was so powerfully delivered from the diaphragm that it distracts Ka. In fact, frightens him. You see the fear palpable in his eyes, something you haven't seen before. And this gives everyone else the opportunity to act at this very instant.
I aim for
While
the
he's
throat.
this, okay. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh yeah, he remembers me, alright.
You add a +2 bonus from that intimidation.
I'm still running towards him. By the way, is it possible to mesmerize him from where I am right now?
Yes. First, everyone will act before you, so you will be
I'll wait.
after Goyo. Meanwhile, Soma arrives at the blood bank. The Baroness is brought out immediately. People are already waiting, and
I follow,
she is
like,
placed
brisk walking
on a gurney.
beside everyone.
She's placed on a gurney and is being rushed to a specific room where you notice a large plexiglass vat has been prepared in the event that something like this happens.
It's filled with blood,
But-
I'm guessing.
It is
Yeah.
already filled with blood, and she is placed gently. She is placed gently while the Tremere are still casting spells and drawing their own blood in the corner and adding drops to the mix. You see runes appear from the side of the plexiglass sarcophagus at the moment. They cast their spells and they hum little whispers in Tagalog and in other languages that you don't yet understand. Some feels familiar, Latin, Greek, whatever, Spanish at one point. But and you do notice that as you're holding your mother's hand, a bit of warmth appears, and there is a slight grip, very slight grip, as
It's
she
working.
slips from your fingers and is placed into the plexiglass sarcophagus. The cover is lifted onto it as more blood is pumped into the system, essentially filling the vat to the brim. Right now, it's just a red rectangular prism. You don't know what's going on. But when the Baroness awakens, I guess you'll know. Right now, all you can do is wait. Sensors have been placed inside the system. Just those easy pulse and warmth detectors that you see. Right now, there is no pulse, just sort of murmur, like a buzz. Like if the person were dead, the line would be straight. But here, it's a little hazy. So there is something. But right now, the Baroness is in torpor. And all you can do is wait.
I get my phone and I call. I leave the room and I get my phone and I call. I call Goyo.
Goyo picks up the
I'm
phone.
a little busy.
Bang, 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 bang. Okay, we go back to this scene. Goyo will proceed first while on the phone with Soma.
Yeah, I just yell. I'm a little busy at the moment, and then I put the phone in my pocket, and then from the broken gypsum walls, I break off a piece that can be used as a stake, and then I try to drive it into Ka's chest.
Okay, that would be. Which do you use? Strength or dexterity?
Dexterity.
Dexterity plus melee, and yeah, dexterity plus melee.
Okay.
That is a damn good roll. Flipping through the walls, Goyo manages to drive a stake right into the chest of Ka. He grabs at the last instant, but it's in there. Just the littlest bit of his strength preventing it from going all the way through. Dandy, it's your turn.
Have you seen my roll?
Oh my lord, have mercy. Okay.
So well.
This is a melee. From the other side, Franzi dances around the two in combat right now, in the engaged kindred right now. Dances around to behind Ka, where she plunges her own dagger from the other side, and she hears the clink. And she realizes that it has met Goyo's own stake right in the middle. Ka is surprised. And you see his eyes roll back. What does Victoria do in this particular instant?
What do I see right now?
Ka sandwiched, stabbed from two sides in the heart, and his eyes are dilating in that death dilate.
Do I know that he's going into torpor?
You can surmise, but if you'd like to make a roll for it, you can. That would be intelligence plus insight.
I can't. Okay.
No, you can't tell.
So, as I catch his eyes at this very moment, I tell him, I mesmerize him, I'm gonna rouse my blood, and tell him to kneel and stay there until I say that you can move.
He falls to his knees as Goyo and Franzi break apart. He struggles to stay up. And he looks up at you, eyes lolling helplessly. I will do as you command. He whispers.
Ask him who he works for.
I will go near him and then sit at eye level. Who are you working for, Ka?
The man.
Where
And he
is
falls
she?
forward. And he falls forward.
Can I catch him?
Yeah,
Since I'm in front of him.
yeah. His eyes frozen. He would appear dead to the other eyes, but Kindred know better. He is in the sleep of recovery, in torpor.
Should we try to capture him? Bring him back? We should call back up.
Hold on.
I go.
Franzi. Goyo, what do you think? Who do we trust right now?
Well, Soma, probably. Oh shit! And then I pull out my phone. Are you still there?
I heard everything.
Can you put him on speaker?
Here. So,
Mother, yeah.
what's going on your end?
Mother's in some sort of blood tank. She
Uh,
might still be alive. We still have a chance, but all I can do is wait. I take it that you found the person behind this.
Yeah, but
Found one person. We haven't searched the whole building. We don't yet know how many more were involved.
I think it's a good idea for now to just restrain
That's-
him.
Don't
Can
kill
we
him.
restrain him with?
Grab me, as I'm propping him up, grab me one of those barbed wires. I can probably use it to restrain him. Or one of those, I don't know, steel beam.
All right,
I'll
there's
just
a.
The
bend it.
rebars.
Looks like there's a.
Rebars.
Looks like there's.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Looks like there's some construction going around here.
That
I,
would be strength and athletics. Plus, I think you still have. Yeah, strength and athletics.
Me?
Victoria, who's binding him with rebars at the moment.
Okay.
We should. I think we should inform everyone that we found Ka.
You succeed at binding him with those rebars. You wrap it around him, and it's so tight, it's impossibly tight. He's got to be uncomfortable. I mean, he still has the thing in his chest, and yeah.
There are two ways we can go about this. We can tell nobody, or we can tell everybody.
We don't know who is working with the madam.
Exactly. But if
So if everyone knows, at least anyone who would ally with us would also know.
if we don't tell anyone, then we might even end up being
Being
suspect.
suspected?
If we tell only a few people, they'll be
They would
suspected too.
suspect.
I hate this. Can we just...
Contact the Silver, contact Escolar, and contact whoever you know at the remaining at the party.
I mean, you guys are the more political ones here. I'll let you make a decision. I'll just stay here and guard the culprit. And I keep my gun aimed at him.
I have an idea. What if we wait? What if we wait until Mother has awakened?
Yeah,
Because-
How long that'll be.
Yeah, and then until Ka is awakened too.
He won't be awakened until we remove the stakes or the weapons on his chest. So
I
we'll
would
stay in
like everyone
torpor.
here in this building to roll for wits and awareness.
Even so, oh my gosh, only in the building.
The building.
The building.
Oh.
Or specifically on this floor.
Wits, awareness.
Rip. No. No.
Goyo senses something from the eastern side. But it's nothing supernatural. Not really. But it is dangerous. It beeps softly in the air,
Beeps?
echoing through the empty halls of this floor that they only now noticed as the beeping gets faster and faster.
Okay, when I hear this, I yell, wait, shh! Everyone, shut up. Do you guys hear the beeping?
Run! Run!
I
Pick him up!
grab Ka.
I'm holding on to him as I run.
Okay, yeah, I grab
like
that.
just grab him.
Yeah,
I'm just running towards a window.
Yeah, I grab him and then I run towards a window as well, and then I use his body to break the glass of the window and jump out. And then I try to angle in such a way that we would land on the body.
Oh my god, there's two of us here.
There's three of you there.
There's three
Three
of
of you
us.
have just as you escape the window, as gravity begins to pull you, an explosion rocks the building. It's so loud that Soma himself is partially deafened by the sound. It's so powerful that it's felt all the way from here. And those at the top of the Escolar building, Enrique Escolar included, see it. An entire floor of another building just went up in flames, sending shrapnel flying. And as the coterie falls, they have seconds to make a decision. Debris is falling all around them. Goyo, who noticed the explosion, can make an intelligence and wits and awareness check, or an intelligence and awareness check.
There you go.
You have enough time to try and grab on to one of these balconies. You do notice on the way down that there are balconies waiting for you as you descend slowly to you because of your instincts and your skills. For the 42 floors.
Franzi has cat's grace and will, one way or another, land on their feet. They'll grab onto a balcony or the next to slow down their fall.
How does Victoria solve the problem of falling through the sky?
I'll like push off Goyo and try to. Is that just roads everywhere on the ground?
Yeah. Roads, the building's courtyard itself, which is just pavement and sidewalk.
I'll grab Ka and then push off Goyo and then use the momentum to just like superhero land on the ground.
Okay, the kick actually helps Goyo, pushes him into one of the balconies, from which he can use dexterity and athletics to suddenly grab hold. Franzi does the same, but far more gracefully. In fact, they flourish with their partially torn cape to reduce the speed even just a little bit. Please roll for that, Franzi. Dexterity and athletics.
My fleetness still in effect?
Yes, of course.
Can I I was thinking this, I use my barong, I slip it up, and then I use it to hook onto a balcony ledge, because of the strong tensile strength of a piña, to help me hold on to it.
Yes, you do have the kindred wherewithal to perform that feat because you did sense the explosion before everyone else.
Okay. Can I add something to that roll?
Sure.
To
You can rouse. You can use other bonuses if you have them. What bonuses do you have?
I'm thinking some way to incorporate that barong tactic.
I would be.
Can it be craft?
No, you used intelligence already.
Okay.
So this is your intelligence in action, using your barong to grab onto the ledge.
Okay.
And then you would successfully be able to do that, but you just need to make that other roll, which would be dexterity and athletics if need be.
Okay.
Or strength, whichever you prefer.
All right, that's it.
Okay. At the last instant, Goyo manages to wrap around the support bar of a balcony, but he does slam into concrete. It cracks one of his ribs. And
Just like getting punched by Victoria.
and it smashes his face against the concrete a little. He feels a bit of a fracture right here in this specific portion. He is bleeding from that particular point on his face, but he is alive. Franzi, on the other hand, using their superior grace and elegance, manages to manipulate their cape in such a way that it affects the flow of their fall, and they land gracefully on a balcony. In fact, the balcony from which Goyo is hanging at the moment.
I picked him up.
Thank you.
There's some pain. Is Franzi wearing heels?
No, I expected this to be a bit of trouble, so
Okay.
there is some heel on my boots, but they're not stilettos. They're
Boots,
good chunky
okay,
heels.
so there is no pain. Victoria, where do you try to land? Right on the pavement?
I'm gonna try to. Is there a car nearby?
There are balconies you can try to land on. There are cars, pavement, and stuff like
Because
that.
I'm gonna like just crush the pavement on my landing, so it'll absorb the impact.
That's hard because physics will push an equal amount of force upward
but
back into your
I
own
have
body.
Ka is the cushion.
Ka is going to be the
Is the cushion. Okay, you could certainly try. I would
probably
like
land
you
on
to
top of
roll.
him.
That would be.
He's already in torpor. He's already dead. It's fine.
That would be strength. And let's say athletics.
I'm gonna. Is it possible to reroll?
You can still spend your willpower on that.
Yeah.
Okay. How many dice rolled total? That's 2 successes. Okay. A total of 5 successes. Victoria, you notice, swings Ka from her shoulder, and she curls up into a ball, pressing her feet against the captive, and turns around in mid-air, rolls through the air, so that she's on top. And in the last few microseconds, she appears to almost be gracefully surfing on the corpse of your captive. And as she plants her feet firmly on the steel rebars, as though they were a spring, the impact forces them shut. Ka is severed into 2 pieces. Like, imagine you took a mincing hammer and smashed a fish in the middle with it. That's the degree of severance from the top half of Ka and the lower half of Ka, which,
Would that kill Kindred?
yes,
He's half! He's in half! There's 2 of him!
No.
both
seen
of these
Kindred
parts,
survive worse. So
these 2 halves of Ka launch about 10 feet in opposite directions as Victoria creates a crater into the ground, absorbing the force of the fall with her own muscles and strength, sending blood to that section, precious vitae to that section of her body, which gives them just enough compressive strength to absorb the sheer force of something that has fallen 42 stories.
As
A
I
crater
see
appears in the
that.
ground,
Franzi.
but for a moment, Victoria's muscles thicken in almost unnatural ways. Her arms tear open from the sheer force. Her thighs have split a seam into her stockings. But as she stands up,
You look like the
the
Hulk.
muscles retract. And the very quick Hulk out that she just performed has saved her life.
Holy shit.
Franzi rushes down there.
Oh, I'm already calling I'm calling
Holy shit, why?
Escolar.
I'll tell you later. And then I just hang up on Soma.
Franzi rushes down to the pavement level. If it looks like, looking back towards the interior of the apartment of this balcony, does it look like someone lives here?
No, it's an unfinished building.
Okay, then I am going to rush down the stairs,
I take the
still with
elevator.
fleetness.
You open up the elevator, and the Nosferatu who pulled himself from the rebars is there.
Don't,
Oh,
don't
weren't you
don't use the elevator. There was an explosion.
weren't you just upstairs? What was that noise? Blood. Blood.
Just come on, let's go. I just go down.
The elevator continues and opens. Franzi is there before you. It's like, weren't you just upstairs? And
I
Oh
ignore
my
him.
God,
I'm running
what is
towards
that?
Victoria.
I actually go to
Kill our
the.
culprit.
I actually go out to the rear entrance and meet up Luz. And be like, you guys can have it.
what the hell happened? Luz says. What was that? Was that a bomb?
I think so. Look, it's been a long night. Thank you so much for all your help. You should probably go before any other kindred see you. Thank you. I'm gonna make it up to you. I'll get you some jewelry.
Who is Victoria calling at this particular moment?
I'm calling Escolar, actually. And while I'm calling him, I'm gonna like stoop down to one of the blood splatters of whatever remains of Ka and like have a taste of it. I've never really tasted the zombie
I'm
blood.
going to I'm going to go and retrieve one of the halves of Ka. Whichever one's further from Victoria.
I got a question. As the explosion happened, did Escolar as well as the other people on the rooftop witness everything?
Yes.
Guys are boned. So did we see Victoria surf on this dude's body down to plummet to the ground?
Yeah.
Oh,
Not the surfing part. It's a little too far away. But the
Okay.
explosion, yes. But you
Um,
you have this sinking suspicion that everyone here had something a little bit to do with that
Before before he picks up the phone or before the call happens, is it possible to gauge the reactions of everyone around the room just to see who's not surprised of the explosion?
The Silver is immediately making calls. On the other end, she speaks language, and she appears to be asking questions from the language you don't understand, but you seem to be able to surmise that she's asking worried questions. The other ones are whispering amongst themselves in what is apparent fear, and you can use wits and insight, or intelligence and insight, to determine if there's anything amiss with the governors at this particular moment.
Yeah, I got one success.
You can't tell as far as you know, but they are now calling all sorts of connections to try and handle this situation. Because as far as the coterie understands now, the coterie that's currently there at the building, cops and possibly medical professionals are coming to the scene. You now have perhaps a few minutes before you can clean this up a little bit or escape or whatever you decide. Victoria's call breaks through to Enrique Escolar. And do you answer?
As he walks towards the edge of the rooftop itself, looking at the wreck, he picks up the phone immediately and says, "What the fuck just happened?"
Somebody trying to kill us and the culprit together.
What did you find? Culprit? Who's the culprit?
It's a long story, but at the moment the culprit is dead. As I'm like trying to take a taste of what the La Sombra blood tastes like.
Who is this culprit?
It's too sensitive to talk.
Tell him!
It's Ka, the La Sombra, Camarilla, part of Madam's group.
He said he was working for the madam.
At this point, what does Enrique know about Ka, as well as his relation to the madam?
About Ka, not much. But about the madam, now there's a name that strikes fear. There is a name that strikes anxiety into every anarch finger. The madam was one of the only Camarilla leaders to ever rule Metro Manila within the last 50 years. She managed to conquer Metro Manila with her ragtag team of zealots and rule openly. In fact, she exists in the public eye to this day, clad in thick makeup. That sort of thick prosthetic makeup that basically lies to people about her true age. She stopped aging around her 30s. And you've always wondered what it was like to have such a large collection of shoes.
I just thought. Oh, go ahead. Yeah, I guess
On
at this
speakerphone. Escolar.
I'm putting him on. Actually, I'm putting him on.
No.
What do you mean? Franzi, what?
Is that your coterie member?
Yes.
The flowery
Franzi,
one. Yeah.
You know what? Never mind. I'll call someone else.
Ka.
Franzi's
What the
already calling.
La Sombra.
I've already sent a cleanup crew down there. They should arrive within minutes.
Well, we're grabbing the body. I don't know if
The
Which half?
both of them. I think
I got one of the
I'll
halves.
grab the other one.
shit.
We
Do you
need-
leave the organs as they fall out?
We're trying to like keep it intact.
Don't leave any evidence if we can.
I'll meet me.
You need-
me.
You can't leave any traces of
I'm
our
aware.
kind. Do you understand?
I'm aware. Just meet me at meet us at my place.
Not at the party?
No. We don't know who is Camarilla. I don't even know if just meet me at my place and then I hang up. Franzi, we don't know who's Camarilla or not. Who's the spy in. We can't trust
And-
anybody right now.
We can't, but if we act in the open, they will be forced to act in the open.
We'll hide the body.
By this point, would I have made it to them already?
Yeah, you would have.
Okay, so I say, well, whatever it is we decide to do, we better do it quickly, and we better hope that Enrique's cleanup crew does a good job, because we have about 10 to 15 minutes until the cops show up. All right, so we better do something. Get out of here.
We need a car.
JR open. The JR is nearby. By the way,
RJ?
so you can. RJ.
Let's
RJ.
let's put the halves in the trunk.
It's a
and get
van.
out of here.
So they'll be sitting next to you. The halves will be sitting next to you in the vehicle.
Let's just put them in.
I'm like trying to grab like Franzi's cape. Like, may I?
What?
We need to like cover up the organs so they don't spill out.
I grab my barong, which has now wrinkled, but I'm still holding on to it. Here.
Okay. Tie
The
up.
barong acts like a sieve. While it seals the organs in, the blood keeps pouring out. As you put it in the vehicle, it seeps out, and you hear RJ mumble, "Oh my God, there's so much blood. I'm gonna have to clean this up in the morning."
Is it possible to just?
And-
What have you done to my dress?
Franzi's
Park
cape is also quite ruined. Soma is. How do you make your way to Victoria's apartment? And Enrique, I assume it's fully possible for you to send a cleanup crew here. In fact, there are already a few police officers probably on your payroll, especially in the city, who can help with the job. You can
Where's
make your way
the-
straight. Someone else can do that job for you. You can make your way to the apartment as well if need be.
I'm sending a message to Soma. Meet me at my apartment now. Bring Helen if
Where-
possible.
Where's the Nosferatu?
Did we know
No,
if the
the-
Nosferatu saw?
The Nosferatu are making their own way. The one that fell from the roof, surprisingly, is extremely hardy, not dead. He's being helped by his other comrade, and the other one has managed to escape.
Which one? The one who saw the body. Is he still
The-
around?
There were three. One that fell from the sky, the one that was impaled, and one that you did not see that managed to escape.
So they saw
with-
the body
with their-
of Ka.
of Ka. One of them did.
Is it possible to grab him?
You can try. He can come with you if you want.
I'll go like, come on you. You're coming with us.
Okay. I need a ride
Your
anyway.
name.
Vincent.
Vince.
Oh, when
Alright.
he's
I'm sorry about the smell. it's the flaps. He opens up another flap and takes out air freshener and starts spraying.
Goyo, you could use the same.
I am not in the mood. My face is busted up. Do not.
I turn like Vince's face towards me so I would have eye contact with him, and I try to mesmerize him.
Okay.
In Ross blood. Okay, I will say, if anybody asked if you saw any dead body on the ground, about like the culprit's body, you will say that he escaped.
He does he does this while he's looking into your eyes.
You sure about that? Escape?
Okay. Escape.
Sure
What's
about
your plan here, Victoria?
Try to flush out whoever it is. If they know that we found one of theirs, then they would go into hiding, because they know if we have Ka alive or dead or whichever, that Ka would give up whoever's the
You
mole.
think if we can lead them on that Ka still lives, that we can use this to our advantage and cause them to slip up.
They'll slip up one way or another.
While they're
Well-
talking, I snap my nose back into place.
And you do it more quietly.
No.
Oh, God.
The visage of Ka sits right next to you. It looks oddly serene, but very clearly dead. You try to examine his person, and
Yeah.
unfortunately his cell phone was crushed on impact. But you can attempt to examine his body for more things. Let's say you all arrive at Victoria's apartment at the same time.
What
JR
will you tell?
produces a tarp for you to place the two halves of Ka in.
Where was the
So you
tarp
can
in the
carry.
first place? RJ.
RJ carries helps you carry the bodies to your apartment.
Is it possible to mesmerize RJ as well?
Yes, go ahead. Or you can do that.
As I see that she's about to do that, like, is that really necessary? We know his loyalty to the Baroness. Come on.
If somebody else uses discipline on him, he'll spill the beans. He's still a ghoul after all.
Right? I might as well call Helen too. She's not here yet. She wouldn't be with Soma. You should go. Someone should go get her.
Helen messages you that she's on her way. You all end up at the apartment. Enrique
I
Escolar.
whisper.
Go ahead.
Wait. I whisper forget for that part of the conversation with Victoria to the Nosferatu.
And the same command is placed upon RJ.
Okay. Forgets that you. Yeah. He forgets what he
Talked
needs to
about the plan.
forget. Enrique
What is
notices
your-
that there is a strange mass, like two masses of flesh being kept in a large bit of tarp. As the tarp, and you wonder what the hell it is and why there's so much blood in the van.
Oh.
Do I notice him wandering or?
Yes.
Are we?
You're in the
I
Before
same.
he
imagine.
arrives.
No,
Okay.
you all arrive at the same time.
Okay.
I just tell him we're having a party, if you know what I mean.
On.
This. He looks at the two masses. What the hell did you do?
Let's get inside first. And I will explain
Pull the
everything.
masses in. You pull the masses into the house. It leaves, unfortunately, a blood trail on Victoria's expensive carpet.
Could have left it in the garage.
It's fine. We'll
But
get it
it's
replaced.
already here. Enrique Escolar recognizes the scent of the blood. It is dead kindred.
He just shakes his head at this point as he mumbles under his breath. Children.
Don't look at me. I wasn't there.
I'm not.
Look.
I'm as pleased about this as you.
You all realize that your only leverage now is dead, right?
You realize that we were nearly blown out of a building. We did what we could.
Didn't any of you have some sort of dexterity to maneuver your way out of there carrying this body?
Not while carrying this body.
The only person with the actual strength and dexterity to survive that fall with the body does not know her own strength. So as you can see, this is the result.
Escolar pinches the bridge of his nose as he kind of just shakes his head profusely.
But who?
This is a massive headache.
You're a mess of it.
Goyo,
Malkavian.
fight. This is not the time for fighting. How's the Baroness? Soma.
She's doing okay. They put her in some sort of blood box or whatever you call it. There are some signs of life. I don't know what you call it. There's some sort of faint heartbeat, like a murmur happening. Only time will tell if she'll come out of this okay.
Being torpid will take a while for her to recover. But right now we have a whole shitstorm to take care of, and he looks at the fleshy bodies again, and all of you guys are kind of bloody yourself, right? A little bit of a mess in the eyes each of you. What the hell happened? I need to know.
I look at Franzi.
Well, we arrived at the building around the same time as the Nosferatu, and as we were about to go in, we saw that one of them, I point at, no, not that one. One of them had been thrown off. He told us what floor, and so we went up to the 42nd. Empty, under construction floor. There were two kindred. Victoria went to one. Goyo and I went to another. Goyo got attacked. It was Ka. There was a fight. We fought. We had him in torpor. Just before, well, Victoria
Moments after the,
mesmerized.
Yeah.
Victoria mesmerized him, asked him
And
who he
moments
was
after
working for. Was the madam. And that was all we had time to ask before, well, the
beeping
explosion happened.
And the bomb. Exactly.
I have a question. Do I know anything about the madam?
Oh, you would.
Yeah.
You would. Everyone here would. You've seen her on TV. You've seen her beside a political leader that was ousted in the 80s.
Yeah.
You know her and her big hair and her massive collection of shoes. You know exactly who she is.
A madam. Looks like she sent one of her goons to disrupt whatever party we were having. And he kind of grits his teeth at this thought. And he...
This is the first time that we've encountered this one. Remember the investigation at the subdivision where we were attacked and you had us on trial?
I thought it was all your plan. It was a setup. Was it a setup, Enrique?
He looks at each of you with a bit of anxiety, just a little bit of anxiety. But he regains his composure just as he looks into Victoria's eyes and says, I wouldn't be here if I set you all up. We've been played. Someone from the inside of our sect is running the show. And I'm going to rip his head off. Or her.
Or them.
Or them. I have a question, Danger. So this conversation is only happening between all five of us because I assume we did not let that Nosferatu in.
No, you did not.
Or Helen?
You could have dropped him off somewhere
Has
along
Helen-
the way. Helen's still on.
Has Helen arrived? Okay.
Not yet.
Escolar would hunch over and inspect the body itself. Perhaps for the first time get his own fingers dirty, as he kind of digs through the pockets and the clothing of this individual to search for anything that's mildly important.
I
Hey.
gesture to Goyo
And then,
the same.
Yeah, I watch over Escolar and I'm like, just to be sure he's like not trying anything.
Yeah, I do the same. I
Find some fragments of smashed phone. You have no idea whether there's enough to try and examine the digital contents of this phone. But it is an important piece of evidence. It will take a while, though, if you attempt it, if it even succeeds.
I get a Ziploc from out of one of my pockets, and then I would have a Ziploc. Of course, I would have a Ziploc. And
Fuck would you have a Ziploc?
Drugs.
and yeah.
Soma.
And then I put the phone fragments inside the Ziploc, so that everything is just well put together.
Pieces of bloody phone in a Ziploc.
Yeah.
You also find fragments of a passport. You notice it is an Arabian passport, in fact. But it's very clearly faked. Like, the identity of the person here is not his. And
How many flights? How many stamps?
6.
To where?
Philippines, Canada, the USA, India, and Chile. The other stamp you can't tell at the moment.
I'll want, well, the
The
dates
Canadian stamp,
those.
however, has appeared sort of thrice. It means he's taken multiple trips to Canada.
Canada.
Vancouver, specifically.
Vancouver is Camarilla. So,
Well,
this
better
is
keep this
Sombra
too.
come from.
Right. When was the latest flight to the Philippines?
A week before the first incident. A week before the attempt on your lives.
Coming from?
From Saudi Arabia.
All right, so we have his flight records, a shattered phone. How else? What else are we supposed to be doing? Like, what are we supposed to be getting from this?
He clearly just diablerized another. That was very clear when we saw him.
Do you have proof of this? Well, obviously not, because he's fucking dead. But
Huh.
You,
We
you
saw
would
the
notice the
mark-
How
black
about that?
veins.
The veins,
black
the
veins on his
markings.
skin.
I'm not blind. I
oh.
would know that.
How about
Are they still there?
They're still notice. They're still there.
Yeah, yeah.
oh, I thought they disappeared. My bad.
maybe it was the Nosferatu that had been thrown off the building?
No, he would be dead if that had
He
happened.
would be dead. He was still alive. Means he's still feeding on. What was Helen saying? They were feeding on thin bloods, on duskborns.
Yeah. Drinking a lot.
Being out entire human beings.
Enrique takes note of the passport name. Whatever name's on the passport, as he notes it down, perhaps on his smartphone or whatever he has.
You right now
Um,
you can't make it out. You'll need to work on it a little bit. Like you'll need someone who can clean away the blood and the bits of flesh to determine it. But as of now, it's still difficult to understand.
Is there a?
So it-
You go first.
Oh, sorry.
Helen
I was gonna-
finally arrives. While this is happening, and she goes, "Oh my God! This happened.
what?
What happened?
A lot has happened.
Your good friend.
He's dead."
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Well, not that we didn't want him dead, just not so soon.
You all right? And hello, Mr. Escolar. I hope you're not mad that I'm here.
He is under
Who?
my. She is under my care, Enrique.
So you invited her to this investigation. She's another witness.
She's involved. She was a victim.
She
under the
knows what the madam or where the madam lives. She was part of this situation with this La Sombra.
More importantly, she was being directly controlled by Mr. La Sombra over here.
Is
It
there
makes you so
anything-
sure she's still not the mole. What if the La Sombra here wasn't the one controlling her in the first place?
Well, if she was under control, there is no longer a controller. So then,
There's an easy way to do this. I blood bond her.
What?
Now you're
Oh.
thinking like a kindred young one.
like have
Yeah.
been through.
Go ahead, Victoria.
You could
Bond
just
this one to
mesmerize her.
yourself. You can't
Also-
pull information out of someone using dominate, young one. Why don't you bond her, Victoria? Bind her to your will so you will be her new domitor.
Wait.
That way,
No. There's a better way we can do this. Right now, we have to figure out what kind of evidence we can find. I suggest blood bonding is our last resort.
Soma,
Okay?
you do understand that if Helen is God, Enrique, you're so annoying. You do understand that Helen is under my care. Whatever she does reflects back on me. Technically, she's like She's my ward.
You know, whatever you say.
Just, I don't want to fight about this. I.
Find her.
You shut up. I like look at Helen. What do you think?
I spent my years, my first few months as a kindred, as his slave. And to think that any of you would choose to enslave me hurts me. If there is another way for me to prove my loyalty, let me try it, let me seek it. Let me help you. I don't want that anymore. Please. Please.
I listen to her and just go like, alright. I will trust Helen.
I go back to looking for a wallet on the body.
There is a wallet, but there's just money in it. No license, nothing. There's no indication.
How much money though? Like,
So
no, I'm just figuring out. I'm just trying to figure it out.
$5,000.
dollars.
It's not
US
a-
dollars?
US dollars.
Carries 5Gs in their pocket.
That is a lot of money.
Amarilla.
Probably you.
Yeah, Escolar.
Well,
What
Do
do
I-
you have in your wallet?
It doesn't
not
matter.
more than you can think of.
Is
You'll take
no
that money,
receipts
kid?
or anything?
No receipts.
No receipts or anything.
Nothing on the price.
He's not as
Damn it.
slimy as
Right.
you.
No cards. Just literally $5,000 inside a wallet. A wallet.
Literally $5,000 inside a wallet.
Okay. We have
You do realize what this means, right? This wad of cash.
Yes.
He's been paid to do a job.
He said he was working for the madam. I'm not surprised.
cash?
It's in. I'm not gonna take this fucking blood money. You guys do with it
Just-
whatever you will.
Goyo,
Look.
you're the
Look.
detective.
there's the first thing that we have to do right now is find somewhere to stow the body, if not altogether get rid of it. All right, we gotta put it away somewhere first. If we plan on doing some sort of, I don't know, blood magic to it or something, we gotta put it away first. All right.
You guys have a hacksaw?
Suggesting to cut it up into little bits.
Don't you have a chest freezer, Victoria?
I do. Just-
You weren't
Uh,
using it the last time you had it. You could put them in there.
There's a walk-in
Alright.
freezer at the basement.
That would work too.
All right. That works. Put it somewhere no one else can see it.
Okay.
We need to provide the other governors something. They'll be asking questions.
Of course they will.
Well, you're the politics guys. What do you think we should do?
Enrique, what was agreed upon was that the following night the governors would convene after addressing this current crisis. You are to convene in the auditorium in the building of the Baroness's office. Essentially, it's a big meeting. Governors and a few members of their coteries. The coterie, the special hatchetmen of the Baroness, also have a special invite to this event, since they are the closest in power to the Baroness. Essentially, they are like a federal investigative arm, sort of, so to speak, like the Baroness's own hand.
Okay.
You
That's
tell
us,
you tell them this, and what else do you tell them about the current state of politics within the governors?
Oh, after he explains the whole invitation thing to perhaps tomorrow's Elysium, if it's an Elysium, he would say, as he looks at Soma and Goyo, you do know what'll happen if they find out you guys have the body of this La Sombra, right?
What's the story? I wasn't there. What do we say? What do you say?
I was not involved in this.
Well, how about this? We want to, for now, keep the body hidden and say that, that the culprit has escaped, and perhaps whoever is within the Anarchs working with Ka, maybe we can manipulated them into slipping up. To think that, well, since Ka is still out there, perhaps they'll go and meet with him,
Either
or
that or
reveal some
think
information.
that Ka ran away with the money.
I have an idea.
Cheap change like this.
I have an idea. I open up the Ziploc to try to check if there's some sort of, if there's a SIM card. Is the SIM card, would the SIM card still be like intact, or?
Right now, you'll need someone with higher technical skills to figure out if the SIM card is still.
I can have someone take care of that. I'm sure I
You
have
definitely-
people. Yeah, he was gonna ask that earlier, but he looks at the bag and he says, "Give me some time with that. I'll have my associates take care of it, find out what they can, and perhaps get to the bottom of this whole Sombra incident."
I
I eye him suspiciously as he says that.
I hesitate, but I hand him the bag anyway.
No. I grabbed the bag from Soma and then hand it to Goyo. We'll handle it.
You don't have a
This
choice.
was our mess. We'll take care of it. We've got people too. You're not the only one.
That's
I'm
right.
sure. I'm sure that you having all of this evidence may have your benefits, but
You have the passport.
I do not. Is it in the bag? It's probably in the bag.
Oh no,
Right.
it's not in the
No.
bag. It's just the phone fragments.
It's a separate.
separate.
Well,
Yeah.
Franzi has
You can
the
you can take the
passport.
passport if you want, and someone else can take the money if they want.
We can split it.
I'm not touching that blood money.
I would prefer to have that phone.
No.
What resources do you have against mine, Victoria? A child like you who hasn't been alive long enough to know how to deal with situations like
Don't
this.
forget that I have as much connections. Not necessarily just in Makati, but all around Metro Manila. And even beyond that.
Sure.
If the
But what's
issue.
the difference between you and I, Miss Victoria Hart? Is that I know how to use my connections properly.
How the hell does he know my last name?
Well,
You
If the
notice that he
issue
takes a
is-
glance at your pendant the moment he says your last name, Hart.
How do you know my last name? I never mentioned that.
I'll be taking the cell phone with me.
Franzi,
I think that's.
You take the
Victoria?
passport and the blood money. No
Fine.
arguments.
Fine. Victoria, just let him take it.
I'm inclined to agree.
I don't want any funny business from Enrique. But this is a two-way street of trust. You need to give us something.
I mean, he's not going to tell the rest of the government.
And how do we know that
If we find out-
he's not just like holding this above our heads?
Look, we'll be at the
he
meeting.
has-
If he does anything funny, then we'll be on his ass right away. If anything happens,
yeah.
if any of this gets out, then he won't even know it hit him, and he'll be in
about
the ground by the next morning.
How about this?
And if he has evidence,
Just-
the suspicion will also be on him too.
Let Franzi talk. What are you trying to say, Franzi?
Almost thinking properly. Unlike you,
Just-
kids.
Just be fully transparent about where you're getting who your contact is regarding the phone, and
Will be the same.
have
How about this? I go towards Enrique and loop my arm around him like, how about I stay and guard you for a while?
That's a good idea, actually. I agree with my sister on that one.
well, that's one way to go
I'm
about
coming with you.
things. She can handle herself.
I know she can.
I think I'll be fine on my own.
You have no choice. I'm not taking no for an answer.
Good luck, Mr. Escolar.
Better listen to her. She doesn't take no for an answer.
I'll cut you a deal, Victoria. I'll let you come with me on one specific condition.
And that is?
He looks at Helen. Then he looks at you. Bind her to your will. Your move, Ventru.
Such a bastard, you know that?
A single blood tear rolls down her cheek.
I look at Helen.
She
What's
looks at
her
you.
expression right now?
Your eyes are asking a question. You don't have to say it, but she nods.
Oh.
We can't take any risks here now, can we? And she's a walking risk herself.
He's got a point.
I look at Soma. Goyo.
Don't do it.
I go up to Helen, and then I assume we're at the basement already, or no, we're still in the
The body has been
Um,
moved to the basement, but
We're-
you're back now.
oh, but we're
Yeah, we're probably in the
You're
lounge.
in the living room
Yeah.
or the lounge. Yeah.
I walk up to Helen, and then I say, hey, why don't you go into the next room? I'll follow you there. And then As she walks out, I motion to Victoria. Do this, and then I follow Helen.
Helen, the moment you two are alone, she bursts into tears and wraps her arms around you. And she's just crying.
Okay. Look, we're not gonna let that slime ball have his way. All right? He's trying to leverage. He's trying to assert his power, but we've never been about that. All right? Things start going south. You run, okay? I'll find you.
She nods and looks up at you and just nods. It's only for a little while, right? I thought it's okay. It's okay. Tell Victoria it's okay. It's not her fault.
All right.
When she's ready, I'll be right here.
All right. Sit still. What were they talking about while I was out?
What were you
What
talking
happened while I
about?
went?
I was, at the moment Goyo leaves, I immediately grab Enrique by the front of his shirt and pull him towards me and go like, you know how I feel about blood bonding.
You notice the moment you try to pull that his strength meets an equal measure to yours. The tug does nothing. But tear his shirt open a little bit.
Going to destroy all the
Disgusting
clothes
homage.
in this city, Victoria.
I don't know my own strength. I'm trying.
Don't worry, it's a Hawaiian shirt. It's fine.
Very ugly shirt. I'm doing him a favor.
Well, I can't argue with that.
You want to work with me? Then you have to do as we agreed upon. It's a two-way street, remember?
It's always a compromise. I hate to say it, but he's right. When you do things like this,
As
when
was
you
must
live the
be
life
made.
of a... Yeah.
You see that thin blood friend of yours, it's under your responsibility. If she gets into
Hate
trouble, you are the one that's gonna... You all are the ones that's gonna suffer the consequences.
Mostly me.
So ensure
I'll
that none of us are in that sort of predicament. You bind her to your will. Make sure she knows her place.
Well, you don't have to be gross about it. It's just
Enrique can't help
insurance.
it. It's in his nature to be
Insurance
disgusting.
is the exact word I'm looking for. Your coterie members know and agree, Victoria. Deep down, I know that you understand what needs to be done.
Right now I'm having this internal struggle because
Tell me at what point I enter the room again. Sorry.
like
You enter the room right in this awkward pause where everyone is waiting expectantly on apparently what is to be Victoria's decision about this matter.
Victoria, I know it's in your nature to try and get an upper hand in every situation. But the fact of the matter is, Escolar over here has one card above us. All right?
I glance at Soma.
It's either he takes that phone and we don't know what he does with it, and we have our own evidence, and we just trust each other, or you blood bond a totally innocent and very young in blood who was blood bound. You shut up, all right? She was like that for the first few months of her entire unlife.
I know the feeling, alright? I know the feeling of being blood bonded under your own sire's control for a few months.
Then you should know that maybe letting Escolar have his way with the cell phone, us with the passport, is probably the better option here.
Goyo's right.
I know we disagree on a lot of things, okay, Victoria? But I think we can agree that this shit's whack. And this guy, pointing at Enrique, is a necessary evil at this point.
I take that as a compliment. He winks at Goyo.
Franzi?
Blood bonding doesn't last forever.
Only lasts
Does
for a
it?
month.
Month.
A month.
Still. A month, a minute? Doesn't matter.
Just wait.
No matter what you guys say, no matter what you agreed upon, she's still a liability. But bonded or not.
We need. You wanna
There
follow
is...
Escolar with the and supervise him with that phone. And you. We don't have to keep Helen blood bonded forever. A month. Would you agree to that, Enrique? Or until the operation is complete?
Until she's proven herself innocent and free from all suspicion. And right now, Ka and her are linked. What if she's the reason? What if we all find out that she is the reason why the Baroness was almost assassinated tonight? How would you feel then, Miss Victoria, given that she's your responsibility? Would you stand at that trial thinking that she herself is free of suspicion? Would you stand there next to her thinking that she can get out of it alive?
Look,
You tell us.
maybe she's not knowingly. I don't think she'd have knowingly put us in danger. But
Knowingly or not, the court doesn't care.
exactly. And we want to prevent her from being blood bonded to someone else. Or dominated by someone else.
You need to start thinking like a kindred and not like a human, Victoria. Listen to that beast within you. You know it's correct. Your coterie members know deep down.
This isn't about the beast, it's Just doing what needs to be done.
Well, Victoria, you have 2 votes for and 2 votes against. It's your decision.
Is that really the only way? Is that the only way that you would allow me to accompany you, Escolar?
It's the only way we can pry information out of her. Willingly. You know how Dominate works. You know that you can prevent someone from giving information out. You can also make them forget. What's to say she hasn't been riddled with disciplines in her frail, duskborn mind of hers?
I feel dirty.
It's
Victoria?
dirty, it's ugly, but it'll...
Victoria.
It's for the greater good.
Yes.
We're
She said
burning
it's okay.
moonlight.
She said it's okay.
Moment.
She told me it's okay. So, whatever you decide.
You know, shit like this is why I left the coterie. And then I just storm out.
Someone needs to go follow Soma before he destroys something.
I'll go.
I give a glare towards Enrique before I go towards where Hanlon is.
After Victoria's
Enrique
gone.
follows her. Or her.
While he's following me, I'd be glancing behind me and saying, I want to know how you know about my last name.
That's a story for another time. We have shit to deal with right now, and this is a step to further our agenda. Bind her.
The moment you open the door, a tear falls swiftly down Helen's cheek, blood red. And she gasps, as if she didn't expect you to walk through the door and do what you were about to do. She approaches cautiously, fearfully.
I hug her and just whisper to her, I'm sorry.
As she cries in your arms
It's just for a
against your
moment.
neck.
It's just until we clear everybody's name. Clear your name.
And she nods. You feel her nodding. And you do notice a tear roll down your cheek as well. Do you proceed, Victoria?
Helen, do you trust me?
She does. I do, she says.
Then yes, we'll proceed with it. Like, actually, can you just give us a room, Enrique? Just
You wanted to accompany me everywhere I go, right? This is the same two-way street, my dear. And he watches with a wicked smile on his face, making sure that she does bind her.
I'll like turn Helen away from him so she doesn't see his face. I just hold her head and say like, this is just until we prove your innocence. This is not forever. I know how it feels to be blood bonded, so
I understand.
I'm really sorry.
It's not your fault.
Kinda is, so.
Well, I mean,
Which part of your body do you offer her to drink from?
actually the back of my hand.
With her one tooth, she lengthens it.
Don't you dare smile at this, Enrique. Get out of the room if you're just going to laugh. I swear.
She bites into your hand, and the drink takes longer. But she feels the. You see her pupils dilate, and you feel the essence of your will transfer into her. Losing blood is always a fearful and painful experience for a kindred. This time it's different. The blood bond fills you with a wicked sensation, a pleasure, a satisfaction that is quite different from drinking blood. As eventually you feel this satisfaction keenly within your soul. This person is submitting to your will. And the thought fills your kindred heart with glee. When she finishes, it's as though she had just drunk a swig of some powerful drink. Ugh. You're a little lightheaded yourself, but not in a degree that can make you dizzy. She closes her eyes and she nods, as if acknowledging what just happened, as if to tell you it's working.
No, that wasn't so hard now, was it? Let's go, he says as he kind of turns on his heels and begins to walk out of that room.
Where does Soma go, by the way, after he storms out?
I just go to my room.
He lives here after all.
Yeah, he lives here.
Said I'd follow, so like.
Okay. Soma, Goyo follows you, enters your room shortly after. What do you say to Goyo as he enters your room?
I don't say anything. I just acknowledge his. I just do this. Well, I'm just like.
Where do you and Victoria spar?
Not here. Somewhere else.
Let's go.
No. No. I don't want to. Not now.
You're mad, aren't you? Mad, you're pissed that you're stuck in this situation. You didn't even want to be here in the first place, and now you're an accessory to someone being bloodbound.
You don't have to remind me.
You're mad. Be mad. Come on. You're a bruja, right? Where's that rage? Come on.
It's always there. But I don't want to be like that anymore. I don't. Being with humans has showed me that there is more to me than anger, than hatred. And now that I'm back here, right now we have to figure things out. And some stupid fucking sparring isn't gonna do anything to fix it.
Might make you feel better. But, alright. Listen.
Finding out whoever the fuck is responsible for this
Yeah.
will make me feel so much better.
Listen. When you've been in my line of work, there's always that struggle between what you want to do and what you got to do.
I know.
I hate this too.
I know.
I'd rather we didn't have to do this. But we don't have all the cards, and we gotta do what we need to do. But trust me when I say I understand. And here, I sit next to him, and then I show him a picture of the Ning.
That's... Who's that?
This is Ning. And Luce. They're siblings. And I would die for them. I would kill for them. And they remind me that I'm more than this. We'll find our way back. You know, being a kindred, you fall, you succumb to the beast, you do things you're not proud of, but then you come back because you have no choice. You can't die. You have to. All right?
I just need 5 minutes.
All right. Then I rejoin the rest.
Before you manage to rejoin, Enrique manages a moment alone with Franzi. Out of all members of this coterie, from these recent interactions, you find that Franzi is actually the one you respect the most. Alone with them right now, what do you say?
As he steps out of the room, perhaps shutting the door behind to give them a little bit of private time, he would turn to Franzi, and he would smile at her. At them, sorry. Seems like the only sensible one among your coterie members, and I respect that.
I don't respect that outfit.
He shrugs.
Honestly.
You. Go
Purple.
ahead.
On a Hawaiian shirt. I don't know what you were thinking.
Let's just say I had bigger things in mind than putting on an outfit for a party. But you know too well what that risk was earlier, and you were willing to argue with your coterie mates. Perhaps being with them was not the best decision if you guys don't share the same mindset.
Well, I share their disdain, their distaste for blood bonding, but I know you won't let us off without some insurance in return. I know you're not going to let us run this little investigation without, well, feeling like you've won something.
Isn't that what being kindred is all about? Think about it. What do you gain from being with them? What do you gain from being smart while they try to play the hero? What do you get out of it? You don't need to answer that right now. Perhaps we can talk about it in the future.
You misunderstand, Escolar. It's not always about gain for me.
So you say. Give it some time. You'll know exactly what it is to calculate the risks of every move you make. Politics is a dangerous game. And right now, you're in the playing field. Right in the middle of it. With this bullshit, and he kind of gestures towards the dead body. I'm sure you can put 2 and 2 together. Maybe in the future.
Don't get your hopes up.
Maybe in the future. You'd find better, cool-headed people to work with.
Ugh. Well, I hope I'll find that these people learn to respect their clothes a little more.
Toreadors. Always had a sense of respect for them. What's your plan now?
Well, I am going to contact someone about a... Franzi looks at the passport. Getting some blood off the passport and running a name through some databases.
Smart. You do that. I'll have little Miss Victoria with me to keep me updated. And you'll get as you wish. Transparency with information exchange.
I'm sure you won't make it fun for her.
We'll see. We'll see. And he kind of looks over his shoulder, expecting her to come out at any point. Now.
I'm already done with the room, so just coming out now.
Ah, there you are. Kept me waiting. We're burning moonlight, so... He holds out his arm. He extends it for you to take. It's time for us to go.
Give a look of disgust, and then look at Franzi, and then like mouth like, is this even a good idea? Just take his arm with a, like, while making a face like.
Will Helen be joining you?
No.
Oh, I thought you were gonna keep her close, like a pet.
No. Soma will take care of her.
As you wish.
He's fine. He's just in his room.
Just let Soma be in charge of Helen. Keep her safe.
I will. Like, I come out. I guess I come out too, because like I guess at that point 5 minutes had passed, and yeah, I see all this happening. I will. I'll keep her safe. You be safe. I don't trust this. I'm not even gonna say it.
Feels like I'm walking into a wolf's den for some reason, but you know what I mean.
You asked for it. Now come on, as he kind of tugs you a little bit. As, well, I actually don't know what time it is. What time is it?
Yeah.
ST.
Danger.
Danger?
It's almost 3:30 in the morning.
Ooh. Dangerously close.
Better go.
Let's get going now.
You each make your way to your own homes.
Fortunate, but well,
This
is our
sunlight
best
draws
chance.
close. Yes. Now is the time for you to travel. You don't want to reach the sun. You don't want to be awake while the sun is going up.
I'll just stay at Victoria's place if it's all the
Okay.
same.
That's fine. Does Goyo go anywhere?
I think I also decide to stay at Victoria's place, at least for the day.
Okay. She has the rooms. Enrique and Victoria, the owner of the house, funnily enough, is going to leave. You are taken to Enrique's penthouse in Makati. It is lavish and screams nouveau riche. Some things look good, some things do not. Like, his taste is rather questionable at times. Expensive, yes. But some things don't go with others. But what you do notice is that this place is secure. The doors are bolted steel. The security system is tight. And there is enough room for you to be around each other, to be in the same place, without having to be in each other's presence as much as possible.
So you think.
Sleep comes. And you all, it's restless. You still smell the faintness, the faint scent of your Baroness on your skin, of her blood. You've been covered in a lot of blood tonight, a lot of fights, but the blood of your Baroness rings most apparent. You know her scent well from being around her, from her embraces. She is formal at times, but she has embraced every single one of you, hugged, not, embraced. And it smells comforting, but the blood does not. It is unfamiliar, foreign. It's like something that claws at your skin. That's almost what it feels like, especially Soma and Victoria, who were covered in so much of it, and Goyo. The day passes rather quickly, and it's only Enrique Escolar who has slept somewhat soundly. Goyo notices a message on his cell phone. From Toneng. People showed up today asking about you. said they were cops. I didn't tell them anything.
I
And I think
Okay.
and I think that's where we'll end tonight.
Alright, round robin of introductions.
Okay, this has been Midnights in Metro Manila, brought to you by the Dragon Forge and the Overlord. Check out the Dragon Forge at dragonforgehobbies.com and the Overlord at twitch.tv/the Overlord. Arena will give you her social media accounts as well during her phase in the introductions. As for me, follow me at Rights Danger on Twitter, and the rest can introduce themselves. Go ahead.
How's my audio?
Working?
I'm Frances Velasquez, also known as Franzi, as played by Dandy. You can follow me at Drawn by Dandy on all social media.
I am Goyo, as played by Matt Gador. You can follow me on all social media at Matt Gador, MATTGADOR.
I am Soma, as played by Raf Delis Reyes. You can follow me at raf.mp3, RAF.DOT.mp3 on Twitter. And wait, can I redo that?
No. We have our guest.
I'm Louis, or
Escolar.
L. I played Enrique Escolar. I was gonna say Pablo Escobar, but yeah, you guys, you guys can find me on Twitter at CrescentsVTM. I do storytelling and whatnot. Yeah, it was really fun to be part of this this show. It's great,
And
actually.
I am Victoria,
Great
played
esteem,
by
great
Rina. I am the Overlord. You know me, guys. I'll put the link down below where you can find me. And if you're already my channel, why are you asking where to find me? Anyway, yeah. So aside from that, I have another Chronicle incoming next Tuesday, 7 p.m. PST. That is Call of the Abyss. L or Lou here will be our where's the there. Lou here will be our storyteller. I hope that you guys enjoy it. It's gonna be fun. I play with a Russian accent, so yeah.
It's not.
I
It's not
kidnapped him.
fun.
Anyway,
It's abuse.
this is Metro Manila. This is Midnights in Metro Manila. Anyway, bye guys.
Good night, you guys.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.